Welcome to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil, the official Monster Jam podcast. I'm Scott Jordan. My guest this week is coming off his third World Finals championship win of his career and the Lifetime Achievement Award. We're going to go to the Zenny Optical Hotline to Peoria, Arizona to welcome in Todd LeDuc. Todd, my elusive friend, the great white whale of Inside Monster Jam. Welcome to the show, man. So happy you made it.
No, it's an honor. Yeah, we just, like I said, I don't like doing a lot of these, so when we do them, we try to make them special.
I appreciate that, man. You're always a very special guest. You shoot from the hip. You don't pull your punches. Let's talk about World Finals for you, man. What a way to go out. You announce your retirement as a full-time driver. You get a Lifetime Achievement Award. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, but I want to talk about the racing competition. You did get a first-round bye as one of the 8 fastest qualifiers, and you chose to stay in the red lane all Friday night. Talk about what that lane was doing for you, because you earned that right to stay there, and that's exactly what you did.
You know, to be honest with you, I like turning left. I don't know why. It's just maybe it's just instinctual that I like turning left. So right away, I got my qualifying pass out of the left lane first, right off the bat, and that just got all the jitters out. And then I knew I had to throw down the heater for qualifying on that right lane, and it was just super consistent. It dried really, really well. The way Apex, the way you were able to hit everything, it just seemed like that right lane was better. And I wasn't shocked when, you know, a lot of us were getting our better, faster lap times out of that on that right lane. So I don't know, once you stick to a lane, you got to stick to it, you know, and just don't lose lane choice. And man, there were so many finishes where, you know, all of our times were within, you know, hundreds and hundreds, you know, and tenths of each other and stuff. And so it was just really, really crucial to get that lane choice.
And then you win Friday night's racing competition. Then you have to sit and watch Saturdays unfold. And different story Saturday. The blue lane became dominant in the beginning, about 4 races in. And then there was about 20 minutes worth of track maintenance on the red lane. We saw some drivers with lane choice go back to the blue lane, and then the red lane started coming back. So at what point did you realize, once you had lane choice in the finals against Zach Gardner, that you were going to stick with the lane that brought you to the dance?
Yeah, so I was in the back stressing. I won't lie. You know, I was sitting there, hear rumors of like left lane one again, left lane one. I'm like, wait a second, you know, but my girlfriend was up in the grandstands with some of my friends, and I had my Apple iWatch on my arm right there, and I was going, guys, what's happening? What's going on? Why is the right lane tanking so bad? You know, and then they said it's overwatered. Hold on, they're doing track maintenance on it. I just kept closing my eyes, going like, dude, just stick with what you know, and it's that right lane. You'll be able to drive the wheels off that truck, and I think honestly, you know, our truck was the truck to beat. And like I said, I was just able to apex that turn on the far end before the big berm hill and wasn't clipping anything. I was just letting the truck drift out to the outside every single time. Like it was just like a pattern that I was doing, like a computer simulation. And we marched all the way to the final right there. And you're right. You know, when I drove out, I had lane choice. You know, I had something like a 1 second buffer there, and I was like, Todd, you got this. Like, no one can touch you on this track. When I saw him mess up, Frankie, my crew chief, came over the radio right away and goes, dude, just slow down. You got this thing. Just drive it to the finish. And just a storybook ending, man. What a mic drop.
Yeah, incredible moment for you. I do want to talk about that final race, though. Zach Gardner had front steer issues, and Wildside was put on the clock, and we didn't know if he was going to come out, if it was going to be John Zimmer Jr. in terminal velocity. When you got the word that Wildside was coming out, did you know, did Frankie inform you that he's having front steer issues? Did you think it was going to be a little bit of an easier race, knowing that he was having issues? Because, I mean, for him, it was either give it a go and get the silver medal at the very least, or don't give it a go and don't be on the podium at all. So I admire that decision to come out. But did you know he was struggling at the time?
At the time, I did not know until I heard a bunch of yelling and running around and people going crazy and stuff, and they were telling me to fire up. And I knew Zach and them needed more time, so they kept telling me to fire up, and I didn't want to fire up. I wanted to race Zach heads up. You know, I wanted him to have the best equipment that he could when he went out on the track. So I just sat there until they were yelling, we're ready, go ahead and fire up. So I did fire up. I pulled up in stage. Zach pulled up right behind us in stage and stuff. I wanted to make the race the best race we could, you know, give these fans here at Monster Jam. And so, yeah, when we went out on the track, you know, if he needed another 3 more minutes, I would have gladly backed up and do whatever I could to make him race. I think personally, Dalton should have raced me. You know, he beat John Zimmer Jr. He should have raced me in the final, and Johnny should have bumped up to third. But, you know, I don't know the competition rules, but I think that's what should have been honored. But,
yeah,
you know, it is what it is. So, like I said, I wanted to race Zach the best I could, and I did not know officially when he pulled up to the starting line. I thought for sure he had a bad truck and was ready to race.
Well, I'm not sure anybody was going to touch you in that red lane anyway. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the Lifetime Achievement Award Todd received at the press conference on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. My guest this week is your JCB World Finals Racing champion, Todd LeDuc, as we discuss his incredible career. You and I were just talking off air, but you can't write a better script than going out on top of the podium. Man, you were 17-23 on the year in racing, so a bit of a down stat-wise number for you compared to your normal standards. But my oh my, like, to finish your career on top of the podium, it doesn't happen. Hollywood could not have written a better script for you.
No, it was incredible. I don't make excuses often, but my tour was stacked, man, with Tristan England, Adam Anderson, Bryce Kenny, so many great drivers. Even Zach was on our tour. So I had to step up my game, and those guys were just on it this year. And we were struggling with a little bit of, back issues and stuff like that. In the truck, we were just having, a little bit of setup problems. Nothing to do with Frankie, my crew chief. It was just the truck was just being weird. And it just all came together right there at Salt Lake City and stuff. And just an incredible year, like I said. And I just wanted to do my kids proud. Cruz and Swayze were back at home watching on YouTube Live. And like I said, I'm excited. Feels good to relax a little bit and just be off the track and spend some time with the family.
At the press conference, I introduced you on stage. There were a lot of rumors surrounding what your future was going to be. A lot of fans were talking. I even tried to get you on this show, and you were just, I don't want to talk about it right now. So now I know when I got to Salt Lake City and I had to introduce you, I knew what was going to happen. I had no idea until about 10 minutes prior that you were going to be given a Lifetime Achievement Award. What was that moment like for you? Because I know you were surprised as well.
Well, I was shocked. Honestly, seriously, I had no clue that they were going to give me a Lifetime Achievement Award. Like, I never thought that I made that big of an impact on this sport to be even given one. I just thought it was just going to be a pat on the back and see you around, like it was incredible. But I just think there was a jinx, man. With Dennis made his, announcement, Tom, a lot of guys were getting injured, man. I just didn't want to say anything. And there was a lot of rumors. Some of the super fans were going like, hey, I heard a rumor. Are you done? And stuff. I was like, I don't know. I just kept putting it off and stuff. And then going into World Finals, like I said, I let you know and a few other close Inside Monster Jam people and said, hey, you know what? I'm given a year's heads up. Yeah. I'm going to step away from the sport and relax a little bit. But yeah, just to see the video, like literally, I had no clue that they were even making a video when you and I made that announcement, and just the standing ovation from all the other drivers in the sport, like that literally almost made me cry right there. Like that was incredible. That seeing young guys like Tyler Meninga and Tristan England to Dennis and Tom standing up and everyone in between, it was really special, and all the management at Feld, and I don't know, it just makes me feel really good that, I left a mark on the sport, and to walk away on top was just, I don't know, the icing on the cake.
Todd, you're going to go down in history with 3 World Finals championships, 3 series championships. You've certainly left your mark on the sport. You've left it better than when you got here. But when it comes to Monster Jam history, do you think that you are leaving as one of the best drivers to ever strap into a Monster Jam truck?
I don't think so, but there's been so many legendary drivers. Like I said, I just wanted to leave my mark on the sport, doing LeDuc loops and tricks like the LeDuc leap that fans will never, ever forget. I want, younger kids that bring their kids going like, dude, I used to watch this guy named Todd LeDuc who would drive like a complete maniac out there on the track, and I had some big shoes to fill, with Dennis, Tom, Jim Kohler, a lot of legendary drivers and stuff. I don't think I'm a legendary driver, but I hope I left my mark on the sport, and we'll kind of see what happens here with the future and stuff.
When it comes to World Finals, obviously you go 10 years between World Finals championships. The last time we saw you win a racing championship was 2015. That's an incredible gap for anybody. But when it comes to World Finals championships, you have Tom with 14, you have Adam and Ryan with 5, you have Dennis with 4, and then you're right there with 3. So that's not a bad group of people to be in that conversation with when it comes to the most championships ever won in Monster Jam storied history.
No, that's a great point. You're right. Like I said, like I won the Freestyle World Championship, Metal Militia, then backed it up with a Racing World Championship, and then I got second to Morgan Kane in the Racing World Championships that next year after that, and to be a threat every year, that's a big deal, man. When you go into World Finals, you're competing against top of every single series, and it feels good and competitive. Yeah, 10 years was a long time, but it seems like maybe I just have some good luck in outdoor stadium shows, or where we run well up there in the mountains to win 3 world championships, and not just because of 2 of them were from big air where only 6 or 8 drivers are driving. I'm competing against every single driver on every single tour, in the racing bracket and in freestyle. So I don't know, it's an absolute honor. If some of the fans do want to say something like that, that's a huge pat on the back for myself, but I don't think my ego's that big. I just wanted to try my best out there on the track, and hopefully I left a mark.
You definitely did, my friend, and you've had a heck of a ride, and we're going to talk about some of those highlights coming up next right here on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. I'm Scott Jordan. Before we get back to the show and bring our guests back in, I want to talk to you about our great friends over at Zenni Optical. I want you to rev up your vision just like me. I love these Ear of the Snake frames. They are Zenni. Go to zenni.com/monsterjam and check out all the cool, affordable frames they have. They have prescription glasses, reading glasses, stylish glasses, sunglasses, you name it, they've got it. And then when you enter the code MonsterJam at checkout, we're going to save you 10% off your order. So what are you waiting for? Zenni.com/monsterjam. Enter the code MonsterJam, rev up your vision, and join the movement like me and save with our good friends at Zenni. Now let's get back to the Zenni Optical Hotline. Go back to Arizona to welcome back Todd LeDuc, the 3-time World Finals champion. We've been talking about your recent successes, but my oh my, when you go back and you look at what you've done in this sport, I mentioned 3 series championships. I think I was there for all 3 of those with you. I was there for one of your World Finals championships, but Metal Militia, Monster Energy, Megalodon, Blue Thunder, all of these trucks that you've left a mark in. What are some of your highlights? What are the moments that you look back on and say, this was when I was at the top of the game, this is when I really, really left my mark and did what I needed to do in Monster Jam?
Yeah, it almost seems like in every vehicle that I did drive, we left a big mark. With Metal Militia, we were on a tear there for 5, 6, 7 years, man. Incredible. 2 world championships. A lot of wow moments. That was when I first left my mark on the sport with doing that LeDuc leap across the stadium at Sam Boyd. Blue Thunder, incredible. Was working on a lot of big, cool tricks out there. The bicycles into stoppies, just stuff like that too. Monster Energy, 3 stadium tour championships with them. Mutant Super Soda, a lot of cool saves. Gosh, who else? Megalodon, world championship right there too. So, no, it's been an absolute incredible run. Like 15 years seems like it just blew right by at times. But no, it feels good just to be home, chilling. And like I said, I just want to root on the future drivers of the sport. Hopefully they keep the brand and everything going in the same direction, upward, and we'll see what happens.
If you could pick your favorite truck that you were in, what would it be? I'm going to go ahead and guess Metal Militia because that's where you did win your first 2 world championships. But that's just my opinion. What would yours be?
No, it's a good guess. I would say Metal Militia too. It was one of the first trucks that was super edgy, man. And the fans wanted something different, something that's a little bit more edgier and rowdy. And we drove that thing like a maniac. And I think it's what literally put us on, my name and myself in the sport, on the map, man. We went viral with a lot of the cool stuff that we were doing in that vehicle. And like I said, that was the first time I went to Australia and started traveling the world. And the fans even, over there and even in Europe wanted to see Metal Militia. So that was pretty cool. But it's a real close second would be Monster Energy, man. Just what a cool brand.
Right.
Super fun. What a great partnership. Yeah, it was good.
You were tasked because Metal Militia is more of an extreme sports brand. You've got the clothing line and you have all the, as you said, edgy. You were tasked with bringing that brand into Monster Jam, which is no easy task. And then you get behind the wheel of Monster Energy, which is another huge global brand. Energy drinks, of course, the title sponsor for Monster Energy Supercross. So you get these 2 brands here, but then you go to Megalodon, which is a Monster Jam brand truck, which is one of our biggest, most popular trucks. You see the Megalodon fans all over the place with the shirts and the hats and the shark teeth and everything else. So you were able to win not only in these edgy, sponsorship trucks, but you were also able to take a name like Megalodon that Monster Jam takes a lot of pride in and sells a lot of toys and win in that. Do you think about that at all? Like that you took those 2 trucks, made them famous, made them great, but you also took a truck that Monster Jam has brought in from the ground up and you won a world championship in that as well.
Well, yeah, I tell the fans all the time, it doesn't matter what vehicle I'm in, I'm going to drive the same, wide open and as hard as I can and stuff. And yeah, and it was right. Like I brought 2 of those trucks, you know, a lot of notoriety and a lot of fame and stuff like that, win a championship. And then when I went into Megalodon, it was almost the opposite. More kids knew Megalodon than they knew me. And, you know, it was a big entity. I thought it was a little cheesy at first, man. I was like, I don't know if, you know, Megalodon's a good fit for me. You know, like I said, you know, I got a lot of tattoos. I'm more edgier. I don't hold back. I have no filter and stuff. So, being put into that Megalodon truck was a little bit weird at first, but once I got in the vehicle, started meshing well with it, it fit me really, really well. And it was a proud moment to drive that vehicle for all those years and then step away with a championship.
A lot of fans wondering what is next for you. I am one of those fans wondering what is next for you. So, you know, I don't, you know, your business is your business, man, and you don't have to let us privy to your private life. But what is on deck for you? Because you made a huge decision in stepping away. So we're all curious as to what's next in this life chapter of Todd LeDuc's book.
Yeah, I'm going to take a year or two off. I'm going to slow down a little bit, spend time with the kids and my girlfriend, and just hang out and just slow down and stuff like that. It's going to be weird in January not getting on an airplane and traveling, you know, but I'm starting some new stuff. I'm going to see where I'm going to land. Like I said, I still want to race short course. You know, that's what my family's known for. My dad's a famous race car driver, my brother. So I'm going to maybe step back into that world, get into desert racing. That's one of my truest, biggest passions in this world, is racing across the desert at 134 miles an hour in a 40-inch, you know, suspension trophy truck. So we'll see what happens there. But work-wise, I don't know yet. We'll find something, and I'll jump into it. And I'm sure I'll win some world championships, even if it's being a trash man or gosh, I don't even know. Even doing roofs. Who knows?
Did they give out world championships for trash? Is that something that they do? Because, I mean, I might be interested. I want a world championship, you know. So
yeah. Do my route the fastest ever in history for the city of Peoria, Arizona.
I don't think I could see you driving a garbage truck, man. I think the cops might have, the Peoria police may have to stop you and slow you down a little bit. Yeah, let's talk about being a parent, man, because obviously that's at the top of our list of things to do. And I know from somebody, I've stepped away from traveling every weekend, and as much as I miss, you know, some of that aspect, as much as I miss my airline, you know, flight privileges, being home as a dad is number one and most important. So I'm sure your kids are going to love being able to spend a little more time with you.
Yeah. You know, when you're driving with Monster Jam, I have 20 weekends that I have to perform at, you know, and so that only leaves a few of them left there at the end. And it's just, time's just clicking by. My kids are 12 and 9, and they're just growing like weeds. And this is a really, really important, crucial time in their life that they need me around and to show them and pass traditions on. So, like I said, I just wanted to end things with Feld on a super good note. Like, I gave them a year's heads up so that they can fill my spot in the Stadium Tour Championships, and just wanted to just end on good notes. Like, I love going to Supercross events. I'm a huge Supercross super fan. I like watching it week after week on TV. I still want to be involved in the sport, even if it is driving part-time, helping with sponsorships, just anything like that. You know, I enjoy working for Feld Entertainment, and if you know, this keeps me in the sport, but in a different way, then that's cool too. So like I said, I just want to end on good terms with Feld Entertainment, focus on my kids, focus on my family out here, and yeah, try something new.
Love that, my friend. Well, we always could use you as a guest spot on television as well. I know you've done that before. Coming up next, your fan questions for Todd LeDuc right here on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. I'm Scott Jordan. My guest is Todd LeDuc. It's time for your questions. Get them in each week on Instagram at Scott Jordan MJSX. Dialed Up Racing is asking if you think your boys are going to get into the motorsports world.
I ask them almost every week, and they're like, I don't know. I don't really think so. But until they get a regular job at McDonald's or somewhere else, I guarantee you they're going to want to drive just like their dad. I think it's in their genes. So it's a waste if they don't.
Or a garbage man, world champion. It's another one. Monster Jam fan 0311 is asking, who was your favorite opponent to face in your career?
Gosh, you know who always kind of pushed me there at the beginning was always Tom Metz. I wanted to drive like him, mimic him, and beat him. I knew his reaction with the fans was incredible. So I always wanted to try to go for him at the beginning. At the end, I would have to say, honestly, Tristan and Tyler. Those two are so talented that I think they're the future.
Crash Test Motorsports is asking, what was the transition like from short course to monster trucks? How much different did a Monster Jam truck feel than what you expected initially?
Yeah, honestly, I went to Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, and I jumped a Monster Jam truck for the first time. And I looked at the guys and go, "Did you forget to put nitrogen in the shocks? They do not land as nice as an off-road Pro 4 or Pro 2, to be honest with you." But no, it was a lot of fun. Just a little bit higher off the ground, same performance, same rotation speeds and stuff like that too. So the transition was pretty easy.
Your former crew chief, Gio Andino, had asked this question on Instagram. I don't know if it was meant for you or Tristan, but I'm asking for you. He's asking if a hot dog is a real sandwich, I think. I don't know if that's something that you can elaborate on.
Maybe if you cut a hot dog in half and then put it on bun, yeah, I'll call it a sandwich for sure.
All right. Josh Bothwell is asking if you got any sleep Friday night knowing you had one final race for the championship the next day.
Well, it did. Had to just slow down my brain and focus and just tell myself, literally what I told myself before I went off to sleep was, you got this. No one can touch you. This is your destiny. You got this. And it paid off.
All right, real quick. Monster Truck TV said, when fans look back on your legacy and career, what do you hope they think?
Just that I gave it my all every single show, man. I drove my hardest and my heart out and gave the fans, every time I got on the track, my best performance and some of the biggest wow moments the sport's ever seen, to be honest with you. And yeah, it's been an absolute honor. And now I just want to be on this side of the field and watching and enjoying the shows.
Well, you will be missed, my friend. You left a legacy. I appreciate everything you did for me early on in my career, man. You were a huge shoulder to lean on and a huge source for me, man. So thank you.
No, you're incredible too. Like I said, if you ever ask me a question, I try to be honest with you. And personally, we had a lot going on too, so it was just cool to reach out with you, talk with you. I have such a great relationship with every single Feldon employee. It's incredible, from all the staff that works over in Europe and in Australia, just everywhere, man. It was just an absolute blast, and I call everyone over at Feld a family member, so for sure. And it was just really cool after the World Championships, all the dust settled, everyone that reached out, just all the other drivers, staff members, everyone that said, "You will be missed, Todd. You were a legend." Even Juliet Feld came over and talked to me at World Finals and just said, you left a mark on this sport, and it was an absolute honor for you to work for us, and that meant a lot. So I can't wait. I'm glad I got to do it with you guys. It was fun.
I appreciate you, man. Best of luck to you in the future. Enjoy being a dad, brother.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Todd LeDuc, everybody, your World Finals Racing champion. That is all the time we have. I'll see you right here next week on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil.